And then, like, I was so shocked to learn that there are actually DJs who produce music. And they can actually collaborate with other artists and release the song as their own.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, you don't have to take life.
That was it, right?
Yeah,
you don't have to take the backseat as a producer these days, which is fire. Too.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, you know how you're like, how do I even take this DJ thing to the next level, right? Yeah, that was like when I learned DJs could actually produce and work with artists and like drop music.
Yeah,
bro, that was it. I was like, now this is what I'm gonna do with my life.
Than you, walai bila nikoshu, utafanya nikupe kifungu ya roho yangu fungu. I taught you beauty and brains. I wanna dance with you again. Johnny kuondole fomu na nikupeleke na rien, baby now. Fukuza uzembe, cheza kama wewe, kaende. Tuvunje mifupa, imeno bado iko, body langu simple, mimi tuna wewe. Katika, ole, nina katika na wewe.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 30% podcast, episode 161. You are joined by, I am Sam, as usual. I haven't changed. Of course, we have Afam in the building. Afam, say what's up.
What's up?
Okay, yeah. And of course, today we have, which is just not the both of us. I know you guys are usually used to just me and Afam. But today we have a legend in his own right. We have a producer slash artist slash DJ slash which one if you had to be known for one thing, which one would it be?
Hey, that's a hard one.
All right, starting with the hard questions.
Yeah,
where else would you get
yeah.
Where else would you get the hard questions? We are joined by the one and only DJ Mura KE.
Let's go.
Yeah, we did,
DJ Mura. What's up,
a legend, man. Mura.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, Jubana.
So happy to be here.
Yeah.
Finally, Maz, I've been waiting for that call for a long time.
Listen, man, me and Afam are huge fans, bro. And we're not just saying it to gas, because sometimes you can just say things to gas people up just because you like them. But then, me and Afam are big fans.
No, I'm a huge fan, bro. I've been fucking with, especially this past year and a half, bro. You've been focusing, man. Like I've noticed, like there's a shift in your energy. Like you've just been releasing super consistently. So I've been seeing your stuff. And I'm super inspired, man. Thank you so much for coming through to the podcast.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me, man. So excited.
Yeah, always, man. That's cool. You're coming off. You're talking about it like umerudi nyanyuki. You're a tired man, aren't you?
Yo, man, it's been a crazy weekend, but December,
sherehe me. I don't know.
December.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's been crazy, man. But I'm so grateful. Yeah, a bit tired, but I'm not complaining.
You and me both, bro. You and me both. Because when was it? I've even forgotten. When Rituals was?
It was the other day. It was on Friday. That's like 2 days ago.
Yeah, Rituals. So we're both at Rituals. We're both part of the Uns Collective. I can't DJ, obviously. So I'm learning.
Why, Sam? No. Sam, why are you like hiding that? Listen, you guys are listening to two members of the Safari Uns Collective. These guys are superstars, man. Both of them. So, Sam, stop downplaying it.
No, why are you a superstar stage manager? Is that possible?
I'm Sunny.
Superstar stage manager.
No, Sam is like the resident producer.
Yeah, but he's downplaying it for sure, man. I'm telling you, the kind of music he's working on behind the scenes. You're wondering, is Ngoma a drop?
Yeah, man, they need to drop. I've been slacking. I've not been following Afam's 3Cs.
Yeah, the vault is full at this point.
You guys tell me how the Rituals event was, since obviously I couldn't be there. I just have to have FOMO all the time. So tell me, how was it?
Yeah, you go, man, because you are on stage. I think your perspective might be better because we look on stage.
Yeah, well, so the one we just did, that was the third one, or third edition. It was so good. The last one we did it at Mass House. The one before we did that one at the Alchemist. Yeah. Oh my God, it was so good, man. You know the thing with rituals, I feel like because now at this point people kind of expect the kind of music we're going to play, which is predominantly Kenyan electronic music. And the reception have been so amazing, man. I feel like at this point, yani, this is the third one, and people are already singing along to the music we've been making. So, yani,
it's been going well.
I've been shocked, but like in a good way.
It's been going well. I remember the one at Alchemist, when we were debuting the joints that we've been working on in the camp.
Yeah.
My guys were going crazy. And as a DJ, that feedback is like everything. Like that's what you live for.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
That's your 1,000 streams right there. Like, to be honest with you, it was incredible. But this one was fire. Tiring, of course, I was running around. Just running around getting people waters and tags, all the fun stuff. But then I took time to this one. I purposely took time to just sit down and like listen and watch the DJs and the reactions in the crowds. And man, it was fantastic. The energy was great. Mass House was people were lively, man. Mass House people were lively. Bro. Of course, Maze shows. And I was talking to Wanda, man. As an opener, bro, you have to. As an opener, you have to have some guts because. Guys came, they were playing, just vibing, setting the mood. And then now later it was like 10, 11, that's when guys are trickling in.
Yeah.
That's when guys like you plan your sets, don't you? You plan your sets, don't you? You plan your sets so that you're playing when there's people around.
I feel like yes, also, and you know, like when you have some exclusive stuff, say like some remixes, some mashups, you know, you have to also like, you know, you panga mapema, so that you don't get on stage and then you're like later you're like, oh man, I didn't play this remix, you know. So and also the sound at Mass House, bro. What?
It was a lot better. I know Mass House has been not just Mass House. I think generally in events, sound is a thing that we struggle with. But then this one, it was good. Like I wasn't thinking about the sound. Usually, because I have a background in sound engineering as well. So sometimes when I'm sitting down, I'm thinking about the sound and how it is and is it bad, is it good. But then this one, I was so focused on the show. So that could be a positive, I guess, for them.
I think for me, the sound was really good, man. You know, the thing with playing music you're part of in terms of making, you know, sometimes you listen to the music in your headphones and you're like, hey, this sounds like a banger. Until you go out there and play the song and you're like, oh,
it sounds different.
You know, you're like, hey, I can't hear the bass. Like,
what is this nonsense?
Bro. And so I feel like the sound was really good, and I actually got to listen to the music we made, like, you know, because now after our set, because now Tina and MGM, they kind of played the whole project. Actually, I got to sit down and now listen to the music we made, and it was sounding so good.
Oh, no, yeah, it's pretty good. Been doing some good work back there.
So, Mura, I want to ask, I'm sure not everything started with you, like, you know, headlining sets at rituals and shit like that. Sam was talking about kind of the how scary it can be to like open, and you know, people aren't really paying attention, but you still have to deliver as a DJ. So I want to ask, like, what your experience was when you were coming up. I'm sure like you've had times when you've DJed in front of like few people, but you still had to put on a show. Like how do me personally, I can say like that shit is scary. I wouldn't be able to do that because it's like rejection therapy.
Just the one person dancing.
Bro.
And don't let them leave too.
And also at the same time, you can't play bangers also. Yeah, because now people are just getting in. Like you don't. You
have to save the best.
Yeah, you can be an opener DJ and you're playing like, you know, at the bangers only.
Playing some boy and them.
It's actually like a science. With opening, you know, actually with one thing I feel like people need to sort of like understand how the curation works. You know, most times if you have like a good opener DJ, you actually end up having a really good show. Because now, say like, you know, the thing with opening, as I said, you can start with bangers at the pa to have everyone like dance. It's more of like creating a mood, you know, to like, you know, it's like set people, you know, because now, for me, like when I'm opening, usually I'll just start with like soulful stuff. You also have to understand that people are not yet turned up, like people are not drunk, so you
so
have to like put them on a journey,
Yeah,
to, like
like as DJs, because even me, I'm learning now. It's my goal at the end of this holiday to at least learn how to mess around with a record box or something.
Right.
So you guys take into consideration the amount of substances in people's system. Okay.
Yes.
It's more of like
yes, that's
like,
a yes.
I'd say a
for
polite
sure.
yes. Yeah. Yes. Also, because now you also have to keep in mind how the curation looks like. The DJ, like the DJ who's coming after the opener, and like how the sets are planned. Because now you have to consider the other DJ that's coming after you. You get, say I'm opening, and maybe the next artist that's coming on is maybe MGM, Amahiri.
Yeah.
I can play an MGM track and he's coming right after me.
Just ruin
like
the set for him.
some etiquettes here and there.
Yeah.
And also as an opener, as I said, you definitely can start with bangers unless you're playing your own music. But also you have to keep in mind that it has to be like very progressive, like when people are coming in, like just set the tone and the mood, like look how people are feeling. If they're getting drunk, like know how to play, so that when the next DJ is coming on, also appear like you just leave them on a, like
just treating them well. I know,
Exactly,
so that they don't have to start again from the beginning. It's supposed to be a and that's something I've noticed too. It has to be like every single time there's been a transition, like between Tina and them, and then you guys came in, or whoever it is. There's like a seamless transition where you can just pick up from where you left. Not now. Okay, now I have to start working the crowd again.
Right.
Which is I think that's a skill, because you have to now be tuned into what those guys are doing.
Right.
But no, it's fantastic. I mean, and it's pretty cool watching you guys up there as well, because it's not just about playing the songs as much as it is, like we're talking about the energy. It's usually DJing is all about energy, isn't it? It's all about curating energy and then feeding off. Which leads me, like, I want to find out from you.
Right.
Are you always? I don't know whether you can share this. If you can't, it's okay. Just say pass. Can you? Do you always curate your sets before? Are there times on the fly where, like, you know what, the crowd might feel this different track instead, and then you throw that on?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work in terms of the science, as you said?
Yeah. So it depends, right? So if I'm playing like a headliner set.
Yeah.
Say I wanna play a bunch of my own stuff, maybe some music from my homies. Maybe I also wanna like try out some new stuff I'm working on. I'll definitely curate a set, right? Because I'm like, say it's a 1 hour 30 minute set, right? And it's a headliner set. Then that has to be a set. So of course I have to prepare. As I said, say there's like specific songs I wanna play. You see, it has to be like it has to be a set, it has to be arranged, right?
Yeah.
But then also, you have occasions where you're like, say you have a set, right? And then, like, sometimes you have multiple headliners. And maybe the guy after you plays some, like, maybe you had like a few songs you wanted to play. Maybe the guy before you played
so now you have to
so you have to improvise,
just
right?
ruin the vibe.
So usually I'll plan like a long set. I'll have like, it's like different energies. I'll be like, okay, I'll have different sets where like maybe this one is Afro house, this a bit calm. So in case someone playing some of the songs that I had put on my set, I can always go to, like another set that also has the same type of energy.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. But also for opening sets, sort of kind of the same thing, but the thing is, with opening sets, say now I have a bunch of sets on my flash drives and my hard drive.
Yeah.
So say I'm opening. It depends on the day, but I might have a set. I might go to like sets I played Kitambo, and then like just play a few songs, maybe a few new tracks from Kitambo. Experiment with a few things here and there, but definitely I feel like when you have a pre-planned set, it's much easier.
But why do I feel like DJs frown on on other DJs, and usually just DJs versus DJs. Just the same thing with producers. Producers are the only ones who are hating on other producers for using loops and samples and splice.
Right.
So why do I feel like it's only DJs who go after DJs for coming with a pre-planned set? Like I've heard a lot of people say that no, you need to learn how to.
You need to actually do it on the fly.
Yeah. Why? What's that all about? That's
the thing, right? I feel like both are valid because now, say I'm playing like a Kenyan music gigs,
yeah.
So what I will do, I'll make sure I have enough, say like a long playlist, but I'll definitely make sure I have like new music, the music I wanna showcase in nini. But also, as I said, you never know the kind of music that the other DJ will play, So it's always good to be open-minded so that in case someone plays songs in your set, you can, play something,
switch,
something different.
Yeah.
So that happens. I think you should be able to sort of be able to do both. Like you can be able to read the energy, and then if someone plays some of the songs you had prepared, you can play something.
Switch up,
right?
yeah.
So at this point, you're not really locked to like a specific set, but ni poa to also be prepared, right?
That's my one.
Yeah, but also now in my case, right? I might prepare a set, and someone might play the song I prepared, but also in most cases, people won't play my songs, right? So if I'm doing a headliner a set, then that means I get to play. I can play. I can say, the first 30 minutes I'm just gonna play my own
it's
stuff.
just you, and it's so important to have that as a DJ. I've realized, man, to have your own music to play.
Yeah, right. So that
you can
really
fall
comes
back
in
on
handy.
that shit.
Yeah.
If in case of anything.
Right.
I wanted to ask, have you ever had a time when the crowd just wasn't vibing? Like the crowd was just dead?
It happens, bro. Sometimes, actually most times, say I'm playing at a Doma, right? And usually the crowd over there, like they know exactly what they're expecting. And like, say for like a Doma, an Adoma crowd, the kind of music they listen to, right?
Yeah.
So I know what I can experiment with, what I can introduce to, say to the people and stuff like that. But also, then you have someone who will see you playing at a Duma and killing it, and then they might think if they put you to like play to another crowd, it might be the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, but then the crowds are different.
It's super different, man.
You guys don't know what's
so you're playing
on.
a banger set, and people are like, "Hey, say, what are you playing?" So it happens a lot, but I feel like it's all part of the business, bro. Yeah, sometimes you kill it, sometimes it happens.
So yeah, I mean, it's just like artistry. Sometimes artists will go into the studio and if you guys, you've created the best set you could possibly create. You're feeling it, and then the artist will be in the studio. He's made the best. The producer has brought out the best beat of his life. The guy has sat down, he's written, then he drops it, and no one's feeling it.
Yeah,
you can't really predict. For a lot of the times, you can't predict how people receive it.
Yeah,
right.
Of course, the better you become, the more you're able to anticipate. You just get better at that. I think the better you become, you just get better at and also like we've talked about being on stage and saying, okay, these guys are not feeling that. So as a DJ now, some guys will want to make that up with theatrics and
some effects in there.
Yeah, effects and everything. But then if you're a pro now, you're like, okay, no, these guys are not feeling this. Let me back away. Let me
you need to switch up the vibe.
Yeah, and just knowing the crowd.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a bad day, Annie. You're like you're trying everything.
Sometimes it's just a bad day.
Yeah, bro, maybe it's the weather,
I think the weather.
Yeah, bro.
The flu was going around that time.
Hey, you're like, hey, the music it's fire, but like, what's happening, man? It's like people are not vibing.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's
okay.
So I have a question. Me, I've been saying 2025 is the year of the unts. And I feel like everybody has been like, there's just an energy where it's like, this is like in Kenya, in Nairobi right now, it's all about unts. Like that's the biggest thing that's happening right now. And I want to ask you, as somebody who's in the mix, like you're one of the people who's actually making shit happen. Like, how did this happen? Like, how did unts become like such like a big? I feel like last year was about urban tone, that it was popping off. But then all of a sudden this year has just been about unts. And I want to hear from you, like how like unts just became like the main thing that people were obsessed with in the recent past.
Yeah. So I feel like there's a few moving parts. Of course, internationally also, Uns has been doing it, right? This has been like a, in terms of like DJ producers have really, I feel like so many of DJ producers, even internationally, have sort of, I feel like the focus kind of changed and people started paying attention in like what's happening in Africa. And I feel like it also started with I might be wrong, but it kind of started with Afrobeats, right? When people started like popping internationally, it's like the focus kind of changed and people started like looking at like what was happening in Africa, right?
Yeah.
And then also at the same time, it's like Uns has been bubbling under for the longest time. Yeah, for the longest time, I feel like even like locally, it has always been like it's like cliques and like an underground movement, right? But I feel like it's also got to a point where like in terms of curation, especially for events locally, there's almost like a standard, especially for Uns and people who go to Uns, like the venues, the kind of music that people play. So I feel like it's been growing for quite some time, but always like Watu is like an underground movement, and then until when now people started actually now doing like, for the longest time, especially for the Kenyan market, people had been already like, I feel like we were doing so much of exporting.
Yeah. Exporting?
Importing.
My
bad. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of importing and not exporting our artists, right? So that means we've, for the longest time, we've been consuming Afro house from like other markets and other artists.
From other people, yeah.
Right. Until when now people started making like, like local Uns.
Yeah.
Featuring with local artists. I remember there's a project that Suraj did with Katochange and...
I know. Dang, it's skipping, but I know exactly the project.
Yeah, that project. About. Yeah. This said he came to
Winyo.
Yeah, with Winyo. Yeah,
Winyo.
They did a whole project, man, and it did so well. I feel like even from then, people started paying attention. They were like, okay, so I can listen to a known song that
locally made that.
Kijalu, Then,
from Kenya.
Yeah, from Kenya, like with Kikuyu vocals, and I feel like from that point, people kind of started paying attention. And from then it's been growing, man. I know the past 2 years have been crazy, like a lot has changed. But also I feel like for us DJs, people have been working. But for the longest time, people are not releasing music. But I feel like for the past 2 years, people actually now started like, well, we still have a long way to go. But people have started like releasing music, and also the collaborations and people coming together for say something like Safari Uns, where you have like 15 producers, which are all Kenyan
folks. Yeah,
Maze working in the same room, and the synergy was crazy. So I feel like also people coming together, and also, do you know also one thing with Uns, yeah, yeah, especially in Kenya, it's such a close community. I know like people have been now, even like from other places, people have been paying attention like what's happening in the industry. But with Uns, in most cases you can go to an event and utashanga sana. You see like you almost know, no, of course not on a personal level, but you can tell you're almost familiar with half the crowd.
With the crowd, yeah.
The guys they show. Oh, we were just with you in the other show.
Right. So I feel like that has really also has really helped. The Uts community.
The community,
yeah. Also with the artists and the DJs.
Yeah. Because
now it's always, you're not always like playing to like a new crowd. You sort of like, sometimes you see guys, at different events and you're like, okay, like you're not working too hard to impress guys. It's like they're already a bit familiar with what DJs do. So I feel like that was already like a stepping stone for for Uns in Kenya.
That's cool. And I mean, you've talked about a couple of shows, and of course, like one of the ones which is coming up is Blankets and Wine. And just the support that I think Afro House, I guess we call it Uns, but then Afro House essentially is getting from this kind of shows, like for example for Blankets Wine, to actually have a separate stage, specifically for DJs. Right. Like as a DJ, what does that having that, not having to compete with like pop, because pop is always going to be pop, right?
Right.
But then not having to compete for that. Like, how do you approach that sort of stage? Is it any different from playing at like a Mass House or Alchemist, or do you go in there with a different sort of mentality?
Yeah, it's definitely different, because now, with Blankets, I feel like it's a very different. It's not too different, but I feel like the crowd is super diverse, because now you have people who you have people who never listen to Uns, but they're gonna be there for the first time, right? And so like when you're curating a set for say for a festival like Blankets, you have to consider that aspect. Maybe you have guys who will be there specifically for the live stage, right?
Exactly.
They might be like, okay, let me go check.
It's downtime.
Yes,
so
right?
The artists are switching up, so let me go see what guys are doing over there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So for me, for such an event, what I do is I make sure I have it's a bit of balancing, really, because I know I have my guys who will come specifically maybe to watch our sets, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I know they're gonna be guys who maybe don't listen to Uns, but they might be interested to like, okay, let's see what's happening, right? So in such a situation, I'll make sure I have a bunch of Kenyan remixes, because I feel like how we do it, especially me and some of my friends. I understand for someone who doesn't listen to Uns, for the first time, it might be a bit, a bit different, because sometimes people are like, hey, mbono unacheza beats peke yake, because now you don't want to play like a whole hour of like deep
just deep house and electric. What's the other one? The one that this guy that Baggings was hitting on. Afrotech,
right?
It's just constant.
Yeah, it might be a bit tiring to someone who doesn't listen to that kind of music. So for us, I feel like remixes really come in handy, because now, for someone who doesn't listen to Uns, when they listen to a song which are like, okay, this is it's an interesting beat, but there's something a bit familiar, right? Say there's a Kenyan song with an Uns track, maybe like, okay, I kind of like the combination of a song I know and something that's new, right? So the remixes, they come in handy in such a situation. So definitely make sure I have like a bunch of remixes, some own track that people know, and also some new stuff to kind of also introduce people to like what we are working on. Yeah, especially the music we've been making this year. So it's also a super big stage for us to showcase our music.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
sure.
yeah.
And so there's three of or like at least the Safari Uns guys on the Blankets lineup, which is you, Fresh, and
Big Nyags.
And Big Nyags.
Right. And also individually we've been like yeah, but we are so set, man. Trust.
Yeah.
Everyone who's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Mtashtuka. Yeah. For us it's definitely a balance. So it's going like we are playing for ourselves, for just us and our people. So me Mazi, I want especially for people who don't listen to Uns, I want them to like, by the time they leave that stage, they're like, you know what, I'm gonna be listening to this type of music.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, like now, it's on Sunday, like what do you want guys to leave with? And it's very weird to say that, at least for me, it's very weird to say that as a DJ, because like guys are just coming to listen to music. Then how you almost turn it into a philosophical, like I want you guys to leave here feeling this way, feeling like this.
Like I know you listen to this type of music, but also when you live here, I want you to ukienda when you're curating your playlist, I also want you to consider this type of music, in such a case now with our say like the music we dropped this year, which is like local Uns with that type of sound, I feel like a stage like Blankets,
fire too.
We get to showcase what you're working on, which I feel like people will like.
That's a big deal, bro. And I just want to take this time to say congratulations, because it's a big deal. I mean, Blankets has been a staple in our ecosystem for like 17 years, man, since 2008.
Yeah, man.
So I know this kind of feels like a making it kind of like moment. Yeah. And I want to, like I said, I want to congratulate you. But then I also want to like some nostalgia, like. how does this feel for like the Mura who was coming up like from the past? Like, did you
Bro.
think things would get like this big, like for you?
Kwanza, let me just say first of all, especially because now we are doing, the B3B we are playing, me, myself, Ali, and Big Nyags.
Yeah.
It's like a headliner set. We actually be the one closing out the festival.
Yeah.
For me, this is actually a dream come true. Yeah, because Blanket started even before I became an artist. And then it was one of those events, festivals, where you're like, bro, I can't wait to grow up and attend this event. Not even as an artist. You know what I mean?
It started when I was in class 8. I was in class 8.
Can you imagine?
Like, bro, we were kids.
Yeah, man. Me, I grew up in a not a strict Christian family, but I wasn't able to convince my parents to like, hey, I want to go attend a Blanket.
What do you mean?
I had to like maybe sneak out with a few of my uncles, But then I was like, bro, I can't wait until I grow up and I'm able to actually go there by myself.
But that's crazy though. Do you ever get that? Do you ever get that like on stage where you just get like,
bro, it happens.
where you're just looking like, oh damn, like it's baby Mura, like look at where I am, man.
Right. So yeah, so there's that aspect, right? And then also when I started DJing, Blankets was one of those stages where like, bro, I can't wait to play like at this festival,
Yeah.
And then it was actually one of my like now, of course, when I started DJing and producing music, it was one of the biggest stages that I played when I started out, right? Of course, after a few years, like after after I started becoming good in like playing music, it was one of the biggest stages I played, and I played as part of a collective. I didn't play like as DJ Mura.
Okay, which one?
I was part of a collective called Bengatronics. It's still there, but we kind of took a break to, it was 3 of us and people wanted to do like a few things here and there. So we kind of took a break kidogo, but we're coming back soon. But anyways, so that was one of my biggest stages that I played. Yeah.
Nicely done. Who are the other members?
There's Udulele, who I still work with. I actually produced.
Yeah, you had a couple of songs.
Greg Tendwa, who's he's a DJ producer and a teacher.
Nice.
He does a bunch of stuff on the side as well.
Nice.
So yeah, it was one of the biggest stages I played as part of the collective, right? And then fast forward after a few years, now playing a headliner set, it's it's
crazy.
Dream come true. Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
So did you start was DJing the thing that brought you into music, or was production? Because for me, like the first times I heard your music, it was through the stuff that you were producing more than the DJing stuff. And I was checking out your YouTube, and I was like, bro, do you still use Machine?
I do, but now the software version. I need to get a new controller though, but that's part of the Yeah, I do have a Mac too. I still use Machine mostly on the as a VST, as an extension to produce music, but I still use it. It's actually one of my I'm a big Machine fan. It's one of my favorite controllers to use. But I still use it.
How did you start like making music? Like what like made you decide, I want to start production, and then eventually I want to start DJing? Like what was your like influences?
After that, I want to start DJing my own production.
Exactly.
Kwanza, for me, it's very different. Like most producer DJs I know, they started off as producers and then they learned how to DJ. Mine is actually different. I started off as a DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't start off as a producer.
Okay.
Yeah. So first,
hey, no one will be able to. Won't be able to know.
Right, Cindy.
Won't be able to know.
So honestly, I somehow knew I would end up doing music. So I grew up watching my grandfather play the guitar, but he didn't do he didn't practice music like professionally. It was more of a hobby. But then he used to like play the guitar and record with he used to have like an old. It's not a controller, but it's like a vinyl. I can't remember how he used to do it, but he used to record his own, like, how they plug in a guitar and a microphone, but it's not like a sound card. Yeah. But somehow he used to do it. Like, there's like a changer or something. Like he used to record a guitar. So basically like acoustic songs on tape, and then you listen to it. And that was so interesting to me. right? So I watched my grandfather play the guitar and like record his own stuff, and that was like, wow. When I grew up, I'd like to learn how to do it, but I never learned how to like make music. I'm a just play an instrument, and that was kitambo. That's when I think I was like 6-7 years old. So fast forward after high school. That's how now I started that's when I was like, you know what? I need to learn how to do this thing. But I started off with now
virtual DJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've all been there, bro.
I started on virtual.
I know, I before because I was joking. You started on virtual DJ.
Yeah, bro. I started
most people started with virtual DJ.
Oh,
Sam.
bro.
It's like
FL. It's the FL of
right.
the DJing world.
Yeah, I started on FL Studio on virtual DJ.
Yeah.
But that was in high school. That was after high school. And then after high school, I remember ni kitambo. But I remember contemplating because now I wanted to tell my mom I wanted to learn how to DJ.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure how she would take it. Because now, also like play like growing up in a Christian family.
Yeah. There's that.
But somehow I managed to convince her. But then she was like, I won't be able to pay for university and I pay for the music stuff. So she was like, take time and think about this thing. Because the one you choose, that's the one I'm gonna support, right? Oh, and then and then after high school.
Oh wow.
I actually I had already started no. Yeah, it's crazy. I had started going to uni. I was I had just started going to uni at KCA. And then my mom was like, you can't expect me to pay uni and then
pay for
I was like,
DJ.
nah, me, I want to do this.
But that's cool though. Like shout out to your mom. Because she gave you the choice. Usually they pick for you and it's never music.
And usually it's not
like,
music.
But she was so strict. Like, if you choose this music stuff, like me, I won't be able to like now put you back to university. I was like, no, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, because you were at that point. You were what made you like? What was part of making that decision? Like. In terms of deciding, okay, I want to go down this direction, only solely, like this is what I want to do.
Yeah, somehow I knew I would end up in like making music. I actually didn't think I would be like a producer DJ. I thought I was gonna end up being like a rapper or a singer.
Did you write some bars? Because what we like to do here is we like to
spit some bars.
some bars.
Conversation for another day.
Hey, listen, the guys are fiending for some Mura bars. We've never had Mura bars anywhere, bro.
Mistake chukua kazi ya watu.
Sawa, kuna shida.
But anyways, I used to write music. You know how like, bro, I'm sure I even knew before you started producing music. When you learned how to make beats.
Afam on this podcast has already given us some of his bars. I don't know if you remember.
Oh yeah, me I used to rap. I even there's a song I have on sound. Well, if you guys can find it, you'll find it. Like where I was rapping. So everybody starts by spitting some bars.
I need that.
Right. So in high school I used to write, but I was super shy, man. I couldn't like rap in front of people, right? So I ended up not learning how to rap or sing, right? But I joined a dance group in high school. So I used to be a dancer.
Multi-talented.
Bro, yeah, but that was to go to Funkies and,
okay.
Hey, Funky, bro. So we have Mura the DJ, Mura the producer, Mura the dancer, man. Hey, man, and then multi-talented.
I try, bro. But then when I started dancing, I think that was around when I was around in Form 2, and then I used to have friends who are like in Form 3 and Form 4. So I became friends with some guys and somehow ended up being part of the like an assistant entertainment prefect. So I would curate music for Funkies. Like during holidays, I'll go collect CDs, some like DJ mixes and stuff like that, and then go back with them in school. So that's now as a curator, as an assistant entertainment prefect, right? So I'd say that was my earliest introduction into like not curating music, but like being part of music creation, I would say. Yeah.
No, but you were curating music for people, like a DJ, like for students. So it's kind of the same
essentially
thing.
that's DJ. You're just not DJing live, right?
Right,
You're
it'd be like, hey, put song number 2, but always I would like select the kind of music I like.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. And then now after high school, the uni stuff. Now I told my mom I wanted to learn how to DJ. So I went to a DJ academy, learned how to DJ. But it was quite tough because now for the place where I went to learn how to DJ, I was taught with CDs. It wasn't like how people, people learn with Serato.
Boy.
It was like, no, you have to learn how to like DJ. Yeah,
crazy.
like old school. Yeah, so I learned how to DJ with, but it was like a proper DJ school.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still there. It's called Soul Sounds. It used to be in Gara.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was taught how to DJ with CDJs and vinyl. And then, something that happened, even before I went to a DJ school, I didn't know any DJs or any people I didn't know anyone.
And there were not as many. Right?
Exactly.
Now everyone is a DJ.
In the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So I basically had to make my own network, like reach out to people and stuff like that. So when after the DJ Academy, I had a family friend who knew someone who used to work at a reggae sound system. Yeah, man. So straight from the DJ school, after a few months, I joined a reggae sound system. So I used to be a sound boy.
Okay.
So
wait, you said
Mura,
a sound boy.
Yeah, so add Mura the sound boy to the long list
what does that mean? What does that mean? What's
like a reggae
sound
DJ?
Boy? So that's what you're called. You're called a sound boy.
Yeah, they're called sound systems. So yeah, so I used to be like
clever.
Yeah, so that was my earliest introduction to DJing now, like professionally, right? So I joined this sound system called Mau Sounds, and I played with them for like 2 years. Then got to a point where I was like, I don't feel like I'm growing. The thing with and I'm not throwing shade.
Yeah.
The thing with
never. Why would you? No shade at all.
Yeah, the thing with reggae sound system, I kind of felt like I wasn't growing because we used to play like the same old songs.
Yeah.
When we go to a reggae night, it's almost the same vibes.
A very predictable set.
Yeah, man. And I'm so young at the time. I want to experiment. Yeah, and through that curiosity, while I was doing my research in like collecting some dancehall songs in that's when I discovered Major Lazer. Actually, how I came to discover Major Lazer, they dropped this song called Bumaye. You remember that song?
Yeah,
it was huge.
Ba-bam.
Yeah, bro.
So I
came across that song. Yeah, it was actually on this TV show. It was called Read 'Em Up. Used to be on K24.
It's called Read 'Em Up.
Read 'Em Up. Yeah. It was a reggae dancehall show. Yeah, by Supremacy Sounds. I don't know if you know Supremacy.
Yeah, I know Supremacy Sounds.
Those are legends.
I've been on my tattoos.
Right. So I came across this song by Major Lazer called Bumaye, right? And I was like, wow, this is such a big song. I love it. I loved everything about that song. The beats. And I didn't at the time I hadn't started producing.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever these guys are doing, now this is it. Right?
I'm trying to do.
But then I'm listening to this song. So like on the title, it's Major Lazer and Busy Signal, right? So it's Busy Signal rapping, and then I'm waiting for this guy called Major Lazer to sing.
Yeah.
I'm like, say like what's happening?
No one told you.
Yeah, and why is it on the title? It's Major Lazer.
No one told you.
Yeah, and this guy is not singing. So okay, let me check who this Major Lazer guy is, right? So I go on the internet, I'm searching, and then I'm like, so it's not even one guy. So it's a group of 3 guys. And then, I was so shocked to learn that they're actually DJs who produce music. And they can actually collaborate with other artists and release the song as their own.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, you don't have to take life.
That was it, right?
Yeah,
you don't have to take the backseat as a producer these days, which is fire. Too.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, how you're like, how do I even take this DJ thing to the next level, right? Yeah, that was like when I learned DJs could actually produce and work with artists and drop music.
Yeah,
bro, that was it. I was like, now this is what I'm gonna do with my life.
Nice.
Yeah, from then on, I started doing my research, how do you produce music, how do you make beats. So that's basically my that song, that specific song, Bumaye. Yeah, that's the song that made me want to be a producer.
What are your other influences? You've talked about Major Lazer.
In terms of production,
yeah, and DJing, I guess DJs have influences, right?
Right. it has definitely changed over time. But Amejaliza they're still like my a very big
Didn't they just release a project as well?
Yeah, and it's so different also. It's like some dance of vibe.
They just decided because they did that. They were doing all the stuff, and then they took a break for a while. Then they came back with Amapiano.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, what are we doing? Then they took another break. Now they're back with like dancehall. They're just doing everything.
Yeah, I also kind of like that
predictability. Yeah.
So Mejaliza was so. I feel like they're actually my biggest influence in terms of like producing music. Because after I learned like DJs could produce, I went on a rabbit hole and like did a whole research on everyone, like Mejaliza, the producers, even them like individually. So for the longest time, of course, they were like, like the people I used to look up to. And then I went to this rabbit hole, started learning how to like EDM works, nini. Then there's a guy I went to high school with. I remember he was a rapper at the time, and then he had this software for making music, for making beats. No, that's
we all know what it is. Yeah. We all know. You don't even have to say it. We all know.
Right. So I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, this is how you make beats." Kwanza, it was an old affair. Like remember those.
The ones that look like
FL10.
It looks like Mario. It looks like old video games, bro. So boring.
So I went to him, and then he just showed me how to program beats. You know how you just put like
on the step sequencer. Yeah.
You put the kicks and the hi-hats.
I was so blown away, man. So anyways, that's how I started, right? So started producing on FL for the longest time. Until when I joined Bengatronics, and then I had to learn how to use Ableton because of performing live and stuff like that. But basically that was my introduction to producing.
Wait, so you're on Ableton now?
I use both Ableton and
FL.
Yeah, but Ableton is my primary JW. Yeah, but okay, here's an interesting story. Yeah. So now when I started learning how to make beats, so I started to like learn how to program. You can do like a step sequencer, maybe play some melodies. And then I realized I needed to sort of learn a bit of music theory so that I could like, these days you can learn how to make chords nani on the internet, right? Bro, I almost gave up, but I'm glad I didn't.
You almost gave up. I gave up.
I
was like, bro, how do people actually do this thing? Like I can make the beat, like I can make the drums, but I can't compose melodies and bass and stuff
like C sharp minor, and that works well with the F. Like just leave me alone.
I didn't understand like how keys work. It's like, why can't I put like a melody and then put another one on top on the black key? Like this shit is boring.
It doesn't make sense.
Just do whatever. Yeah.
And then now I learned, for me also to learn how to produce music, I also needed to go to a studio and learn how people actually record vocals and how it's mixed.
Yeah, the other side of it.
Right. But also I was so shy.
Would someone be able to know that too?
Because I didn't know how to like properly make beats.
How are you a shy DJ? How does that work?
But you see now, even then, like a producer, like I'll approach a producer, and then they'll be like, this is how it's done. And then because I'm still learning, people are like, you still have a long way to go, right? And let's be honest, man, musicians are not like the easiest people to like, especially when it comes to learning music. You know how hard it is to actually show someone from scratch, right?
To show somebody.
Like there's so many things to explain. Like you have to do this and this and this. So I would approach producers and be like, you know what you should do? Kwanza enda learn keys and then from there we can talk, right? But then I was like, no, I need to learn how vocals are recorded and how like you can put vocals on a beat together. So remember when I told you I used to write music? No, back in high school. Yeah. So I found this beat and then I wrote a song. So I discovered the best way to go to a studio, I'll go to a producer and tell them I want to record a song. So, and then, so basically how a client would just approach a producer.
Yeah.
So remember this guy who gave me the FS Studio, the cracked version. Yeah, so I was like, hey bro, I have this idea. I want to go record some vocals. Can you connect me to a producer you work with? No, like a producer.
A pro,
We're still learning, right? Yeah. Even my guy, like he didn't know how to like properly make beats. So I was like, hey, I know this guy because I grew up in Eastland. So I know this guy from Mo. So let me connect you to him, and then you can plan when you can go to the studio and record the vocals. Already I had a beat, right? So I reached out to the guy, and then he was like, hey, you pay this amount of money. It will take a couple of days for us to mix in Nini. So I went to the studio. But my goal was...
like a notebook.
Yeah, I wasn't there to... My goal wasn't to like... record the song,
music. Yeah, you just
wanted to go there and see how they do it.
Exactly.
Like, how do they record the
That's
vocals?
smart.
That's
bro.
Smart. That's a good way to go.
So I went there. So I told the guy, this is my first time recording a song. So I don't know like how, like how to basically like go about it.
Yeah.
So it was like, just give me the beat. I'll put it in this software. And then you go, so show me the booth. Then you go inside, and then we're going to record like this. You do the first verse, then you do the chorus, and then you're going to back up the vocals. And Nina was like, okay, all right, I'm ready. But me, I'm there to learn. I didn't, my goal was in the song. So I'm there recording the song, and the producers are like, oh, bro, you have to put some more oomph. Hey, but deep down, I'm not, bro.
No, bro. Nah.
So anyways, we recorded the song. It wasn't a great song, of course, but...
Okona.
Yeah, give us an exclusive.
But you can play it on a set when you're opening for someone. You can play it.
I used to have this laptop that I learned to produce with, but it died. So I had a bunch of files that,
I don't know if I believe that, but it's all right. I know my feature.
So basically, that's how I lost the file. But luckily, I learned. Yeah. But basically, I kind of, before I left there, I learned how to, like how to go about recording vocals. At least I was a bit familiar with the process.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I think I can actually learn how to do this thing. And luckily, we became, because now I was a DJ already. And then we kind of became friends with the guys at that studio, and then they were like, hey, we have a project we're recording and we'd like you to do a mix. And I was like, hey, me, I'm down. So we became friends. I did a mix for them. So I'll go to the studio, like see how people are recording, made a few network here and there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I learned to, not like really learn, but basically, I'd say like my main introduction to like making music. Like how music is actually recorded, how it's mixed, because now after we became friends, I told the guy, me bro, my goal wasn't to record music, but I want to learn how I want to learn how it's recorded, how you can mix. Hey, but this guy used to use like some old softwares, but the concept is still the same, right?
Yeah. So the concept is just the same, even if the DAW is different. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Shout out to those guys.
So I wanted to ask, so now transitioning from there, you've learned how to mix, you've learned how to record, and now you want to now start releasing music. I've noticed one of the patterns that you have is you like to lock in with people and then really focus on music with them, like for a year before like progressing. So for me, like one of the first ways I found your music was through Kabi, because we both used to work with Kabi at the time. So around 2023, I noticed you really locked in with Kabi. You were making a lot of music. And then I see last year is when you locked in with Ali Fresh. You guys released Nyumbani. And then this year has been about you and Nyags with Likizo. So I see like, is there a reason why you like to lock in with specific people for a duration of time? And then the second question is, who's the person we're locking in for 2026? Because I know you have something you're working on.
Wow. Do you know, hey, bro, this is so interesting, man. I feel like you mentioned something I hadn't realized. This thing of locking in, it actually, like, it does happen. Sometimes it's very, sometimes it's planned and sometimes it's not. But something that I really plan when it comes to music is like, say like what I want to focus on and what I want to drop, right? So for instance, like how I started making my own music, like now working with other guys, like featuring artists. So remember when I learned how to properly produce music, before now I started collaborating with other people.
Yeah.
I ended up being a ghost producer for like other guys. And then after a while, that thing was so boring.
Yeah.
because now
For the people listening who don't know what a ghost producer is, what's a ghost producer?
So a ghost producer is basically, so it's like you pay a beat maker to make your beat, and then you take credit.
You don't tell them. You don't tell the consumers that it came from someone else. There's a lot of that going on, but we shall keep it on a deal.
yeah, if you know, you know, man. So I used to ghost produce for guys, man, for the longest time. And then, of course, at the time, I hadn't really understood the business, like how the business actually works, the business side of music. How you're supposed to own your IP and your writing and all those things.
Yeah.
But as I was ghost producing, at the time now I started learning, so there's something that's called writing. You're supposed to own your writing, you know? So who's supposed to own the master? Who's supposed
the back
to
end of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, all this, you know, I don't want to say boring stuff, but basically the business side of music.
It's kind of boring. But it's
We're being
important.
honest, it's kind of boring, but it's boring important.
Yeah, but it's something that I feel like every stakeholder should learn, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I got to a point where I was like, no, I feel like people are taking advantage of my work, right? And then that was around 2017, right? And then I was like, you know what? I'll stop ghost producing for people and I'll just make the stuff I want. And then at the time I was like, you know, this entire time now I'm researching on electronic music, how it works, how DJs feature artists and all this stuff. And then 2017, I was like, you know what? From now on, I'm going to do my own stuff.
Yeah.
So that year, I made a 3-track EP called Excuse My Language. And it was like an experimental project, bro. I think it's on my SoundCloud somewhere.
Okay.
But anyways, this project ended up getting me an Afrima nomination. So I got an Afrima nomination. Yeah, bro, it was so strange. I was super surprised. I was on the same category with, I think with the Diamond. And was it? Because I was in 2 categories. There was like an electronic category, like a continental.
Wait, and this is your first like proper thing to put together and release as a project.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I actually put it on SoundCloud and on YouTube. It wasn't on like remember Spotify.
They were in the other.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So, anyways, I got an Afrima nomination, right? And then I was like, okay, now this is a sign. I should do it.
Yeah.
So,
did you run back and send to your mom like, hey, look, because that could be
actually,
like
at that point, my mom was so tired with this music stuff. She was like, you're not making money.
Exactly.
Yeah, she was like, I support you, but it's time
It's
maybe you
too
consider
much.
getting a job or maybe going back to school, right? But then when I got an Afrima nomination, it's actually started making sense because I got to meet people, right? Now a friend of mine, remember when I said I was part of a collective called Bengatronics?
Bengatronics, yeah. It's a fire name, by the way. Bengatronics is such a fire name for a band.
Right. It's actually Benga Electronic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So Greg reached out because he had been doing this music stuff for a long time. But also at the same time, he was looking for a producer engineer he could work with in regards to like, because now it's actually him and Udulele who had this whole Bengatronics idea of making, you know, the whole idea with Bengatronics was like, because I might be wrong, but you know, this thing people say we don't have a Kenyan sound.
Yeah.
You know, you actually do.
Yeah.
You know, Benga it's a
that was the
Benga,
traditional.
Yeah, it's actually Kenyan dance music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now
KDM.
the whole idea with exactly. Yeah, that's so the whole idea that Greg and Udulele had, they were thinking of how they could sort of create a bridge between Benga and electronic music, right? Hence the name Bengatronics. And then at the time, they had worked with a few producers, engineers, but because they're predominantly DJs and songwriters, right? But they wanted someone who could engineering it's quite a lot with engineering, especially when you want to make a sound. It kind of takes
technical.
time. Yeah. Yeah. And then at the time I was like, because even the project that I dropped, the one called Excuse My Language, the whole idea was to mix traditional African music with electronic elements, right? So somehow we were aligned, but with different ideas.
Okay.
So I think when he saw the categories and then he realized there was a Kenyan DJ producer on it, because all these other guys were from South Africa, West Africa, and other countries within the continent. So he sent me a message. He was like, "Hey, my name is Greg. I saw you've been nominated for this category on Afrima's.
On
I'd like to talk to you about some ideas I'm doing and see maybe if we could collaborate or work on something, right?" So I went, I checked his profile, and I was like, "Oh, this guy actually does events and music stuff, right?" So I was like, "Yeah." I reached back to him and I was like, "Yeah, let's link up, see what we can make and see if it makes sense, right?"
Yeah.
So we linked up. I met Greg and Udulele. They told me the ideas they had. And then I told them about the kind of stuff I was working on at the time. And they had planned a recording camp that was, I think, now when we met was like 2 weeks from then. So they invited me to be part of the camp.
Nice.
Just like a supporting producer, right? So I went there. I think it took almost 2 weeks, and I actually now got to learn their, like, to see their ideas, like, I actually got to see them experiment on the ideas they had in terms of like mixing benga and electronic music. Right? And I was like, wow, this is actually so cool. Then, because now they had the Bengatronics collective, it was now Greg and Udulele, right? And then they were like, "Yo, we have this thing we are working on called Bengatronics. If you want, you can be part of it. What do you think?" I was like, "Count me."
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I became part of Bengatronics, right? Of course, I worked with Bengatronics for a while because now, before now, we sort of took a break because of life stuff, family, nini.
Yeah.
And that's when now I started releasing my own tracks as DJ Mura featuring other artists, right? So now, as part of Bengatronics, because my role was more of a producer, engineer, producer, and performer. Because now Udulele does vocals and he plays guitar and plays bass, and then Greg also plays instruments. He plays percussions, and also he's also super heavy on electronics, like controllers and stuff like that. So you do like a set where Udulele is on vocals and guitars, and then Greg will be on percussions or maybe triggering stuff on Ableton, and then maybe I will be on the decks. And so basically like a collective kind of setup, right? So when I was in Bengatronics, I got to meet so many artists, because now Greg and Udulele, they already had like a
they've been around.
They've been around. They have artists they already they've been working with, So through them, I got to meet so many artists. So when I started doing my own stuff, I sort of had an advantage.
You already have, you've gotten the networks already.
Yeah, a bit familiar. So so it was a bit easy. To start doing my own stuff. And then also now working on being part of a collective, I learned for you to sort of drop a project, you need to maybe plan and give it time so that you can, so basically have timelines where like I'm gonna work on, say, like a 3-track EP, and I have this maybe a couple of artists on this project, and then give it time for mixing and mastering and maybe then drop it, right? So now, you see, when you ask like how I sort of like clocking with an artist and then I drop. So that's how I learned that in being part of Bengatronics.
Okay.
So because now we would like clocking with a few artists, work on an EP and then drop it, right? Or maybe we'll work on like 5 songs, and then we would like plan on a release schedule, which will be like maybe this month, next month. So it looked like you've been in studio with this artist, even if you know what I mean. Maybe we will end up maybe recording like 3 or 4 songs in one session. But then when you plan,
it looks like it's a lot of a long time
together for a long time.
Right?
So that's how I learned being part of Bengatronics.
Bengatronics.
So, right. And then now when I started doing my own thing as DJ Mura, so I just reached out to the artists I was already working with. And so I will like use the same formula. Call someone, we locking, maybe record like 3 or 4 tracks, and then we'll be like, okay, should we maybe drop them back to back, or maybe part of a project, nini. So after I started doing my own thing professionally, especially with Kabi. But now with Kabi, it was a bit different because I was more of a producer. As much as I'm credited on the songs, I was more of a producer, not like because now how I work with guys, I'll make a song and then I'll be like, oh, maybe this fits, maybe this artist, maybe I need to reach out to, you shop
it around, A&R it basically,
right.
A&R your own joints.
Yeah, right. And then I will just maybe tell the people like the ideas I have. Maybe I'm thinking of something that sounds like this.
Yeah.
Maybe we put vocals that sound like this. Nini. But now for someone like Kabi, usually we just lock in. Actually, most of the songs we made together, usually we make the song on the spot. We'd be like, so how are we feeling? Do we make like a beat that sound like this? And then we just, as a producer, like how a producer would go about it, right? And we'd be like, okay, let's do this. Let's try this and this and this. So, with Kabi, I was more of like a producer. Although we also released a few tracks where, like I featured him on some of my beats, but mostly with him, I was more of a producer.
Well,
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy. It's crazy how everything just kind of comes together. But I also like the approach you're taking now, where you are moving like one of these DJ producers who releases their full-length projects. One artist I'm so impressed with, like I think you're one of the only people she fucks with in terms of like even giving vocals, is Labdi. How is it working with Labdi, man? Because I feel like she mostly does her own thing and then she'll do some stuff with Mura and that's it. Because bro, Labdi, I look up to Labdi like so much. So how is it working with all these different people? Labdi, Costa Ojuang, Lee Boy,
the latest one with Ywaya.
Yeah. So with Labdi, actually Labdi is one of my favorite people to work with. I'll tell you that for sure, man. First of all, she's so talented. She's such an amazing singer. She's an amazing person. And also like she's a personal friend, of course. And I think also with Labdi, actually, do you know, actually met Labdi through a Bengatronics project.
Oh, for real?
And that's how we actually started working together. So, Labdi is one of those artists, right? Like, say I have an idea, because now, sometimes I will be a producer on her tracks, and then sometimes we just collaborate on my tracks, right? She's one of those artists who I will send an idea to, Atakama, it's like the most craziest idea. She'll be down to try
and figure out a way to get on it.
And then we just exchange ideas. I'd be like, oh, I'm thinking of something like this that sounds like this. We can put some vocals here and then in Nini. And then she just take time, curate the whole thing, do some arrangements. By the time she's coming to the studio, it's like, now let's just, like, of course, you will just like go through the project before you start recording, and then she'll be like, oh, I have these ideas, Nini. But most times, like when you start recording, like, the thing, I feel like Labdi is one of the artists that we've recorded the most songs with in a single session. Yeah, because she comes to the studio super prepared, man. And she's such an amazing singer. So we don't have to like keep on doing
coaching. You don't have to do a lot of coaching.
Yeah. She's like, oh, so what are we recording? She'd do like a dry run, or be like, oh, that sounds great. Let's record it. Yeah. Then we do like, like an extra 2 layers just to be safe. But yeah, man, I really enjoy working with her.
That's dope. Talk about your latest EP. Your latest EP with Ywaya.
With Ywaya.
Yeah, how did that come about?
No, that's another.
I saw he was at the Safari Un show, but you guys didn't perform any of your stuff.
Yeah, no, actually, we did a couple of Watendawili remixes I have.
Okay, yeah.
Came on stage, and then I think we played 2 or 3 tracks. First of all, Pia Watendawili are some of my favorite people to work with.
Yeah, man.
Also.
Cool guys.
Ywaya is super talented, man. We just dropped a new project. It's called Lucky Summer. Some Kenyan summer vibes.
Yeah. That project is actually, just before you go, that project is interesting because when I was listening to it, I was like, okay, I can tell that this is being made by someone who is an Unz DJ.
Yeah.
Because if you take away some of the, if you speed it up a bit and then replace some of the elements with like because you use a lot of softer percussive elements on it, but if you use like the traditional house EDM, so then it's a basic Afro EDM songs. But another thing I like about listening to especially your production, of course, the one with the Lucky Summer is a different sound, sort of. Yeah. And I love that you didn't go for pop melodies, but that's a different idea. It's just very different melodies and chord progressions we've not really had. But a lot of your production is a lot looser than, like when you hear an Afro house joint, an Unz song. Yeah. It's very structured. It's very quantized, sort of. It has a quantized feel about it. Yeah. But then yours, even your Afro house joints, like a lot looser. Is that like something a lot looser in terms of how it feels? I don't know whether there's quantization involved, but just the general picture is just a very loose sound. Is that something that you've thought about, or it's just me? Yeah.
So I remember when I mentioned I was part of a collective, I was part of Bengatronic, and still is.
Yeah.
Now as an engineer, I used to record a lot of live elements and like live artists. So I would record percussions, guitars, and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And even before then, I didn't used to like work with live elements, say like guitars and drums and stuff like that. So when I started,
samples too.
When I became part of Bengatronics, it's like everything changed, right? I started learning how to use Ableton. I started learning recording drums, guitars, and all this live stuff. Sometimes we'll do like a live gig, and my guys will be like, "Hey, so you go do a few things on the mix and just make sure everything sounds right."
Yeah.
So now, fast forward to now when I started making my own music, right? It's like all this knowledge I accumulated being part of a collective, especially recording live music, I just incorporated it into,
your own production.
Right? Production. Yeah, I think if you listen to my music, you'll notice this. I use a lot of live elements like guitars, percussions, and all that. So another thing, like I'm a drums guy.
Yeah.
Like I love drums, man.
Yeah.
And when I say drums, I don't mean like just at heavy drums, like drums generally, percussions. Like I love grooves.
Yeah.
Like I love good shakers. I like how everything blends. You see, I feel like with a proper drum groove, like a good kick, a good snare, proper percussions, and not just like when I say percussion, not just like one particular like sound element, like multiple percussions. You might have shakers, you have congas, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because being part of a collective like Bengatronics, one of the major things I learned is actually how to separate drums in when it comes to mixing.
Yeah.
Basically how to create space for everything, right?
Yeah.
And I learned how to like the importance of having live elements. You see, like having a recorded shaker as opposed to like programming a shaker. Does that make sense?
It's way different.
It does.
Yeah, like having something that's played live.
Because live is not quantized. Like sometimes it's not completely exactly in time, but that's what makes it feel more realistic, more, enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah, exactly. Like having like so basically having proper recorded like shakers and drum grooves and knowing how to make a good separation so that everything sounds great, right? Like in its own space. Like things are not fighting, like a shaker is not fighting with another element. So I really love drums, and I feel like when you say when it comes to like, it doesn't sound like
quantized.
Quantized.
Just
I'm a very
on the grid.
electronic, just so to say. I feel like that comes with me working with live elements, because sometimes I'll just have some of my musician friends come to studio, and then we record a bunch of loops.
Yeah.
And then when I go back to like making music, I'll just go to my bank and then and
take some of those. Yeah.
Take some of those.
Yeah.
And also, I'm also a very soulful person when it comes to production, right? So I feel like when it comes to like merging drums and soulful elements, say like keys, chords, and all that, for me, I feel like they blend so nice. Because having a proper groove and having a proper bed, so to say, like a proper pad and, like a soulful, some soulful piano with like proper drums, I feel like...
Yeah, that creates...
That's what I was going to say.
Bro,
your music is very soulful and very calming.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes that's something I struggle with, man. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to make a soulful song, and then I end up
making it's you. The soul is in you, bro. you can't run from it.
So I feel like the thing with my music, I feel like I experiment a lot with live elements, and also like learning how to mix also is a very big part of it, because as a producer who knows how to mix their own stuff, it plays a very big role in how my music sounds. Because now when I send it out for mastering, I already have a proper picture. I'm a proper text that I'm going for. Because now with mixing, sometimes you might send it to another engineer, but they'll make it sound how they
exactly. Yeah, they'll mix it to a template.
Exactly, right? But now as a producer who mixes their own stuff, I know exactly how to basically make my, if it's my drums, if I'm going to for a specific sound, I know exactly what to do and how to make it, how to make it sound. So like whenever I send it out for mastering, then I just have a few notes, share it with the mastering engineer, and then we just make it happen.
Well, yeah. Will you, you're at Blankets, right? Would you, or rather, is it a thing that you would consider if they interact more with your own personal music rather than your sets that you spend time curating? Like, which one? Okay, let me ask it this way: which one would you rather, like, a Blankets crowd interact with or feel the most? Of course, the answer, the basic answer is all of them, right? Yes, that's the answer. But then, what's the?
Well, wow. So first and foremost, I'm a DJ.
Yeah.
I started off as a DJ before I started producing, right? So, like me, I'm a DJ. Like, and when it comes to a part, like me, I want to see people dancing.
You want to curate. You want to create
also,
that vibe.
Also, I'm a producer. I really love producing music. I love,
okay, so
I love sharing my sound, right? So I feel like a bit of both. I want people to listen to my music, but also at the same time, I want to make people dance. I want people to have a great time, but also I want you to have a great time listening to my music.
Of course.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, Sam, do you have anything else to ask? Because I feel like we've kind of covered it. This has been an amazing conversation, man. I feel like we've been able to kind of like cover like everything from your coming up to this peak at performing at Blankets. Usually we like to have our guests play a song that they would like for the end of the podcast. So it can be yours, it could be anyone, as long as it's Kenyan. So you let us know what you want us to end the podcast with, and then
okay. Before I talk about the song, there's something I wanted to mention, but I forgot.
Go ahead.
The floor is yours.
First of all, I want to give us a big shout out to Blankets and Good Times in general. Yeah, I feel like part of why I'm able to be where I am right now as an artist is because I went through this program called Perform, which is by Good Times.
The incubator.
The incubator. And I feel like the whole process of going through Perform kind of set me to be where I am right now, because now I actually got to learn so much about the business side of things, not just the technicalities of playing music. And that really helped me to structure myself as an artist, how to run it as a business and all of these things. So man. So shout out to Blankets and Good Times. Man, I'm super grateful.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely been part of, Blankets has been been there for 17 years. Right. and a show that is consistent, right? In terms of just being there every year, a couple of times, right? They've definitely been part of a lot of artists' stories. Low key and even high key sometimes, putting some of these new artists, like for example, their lineup this time, just putting artists who are still budding, like Adam Ziki, they're just starting to get out of their shell, and putting them on. Like, it's a really important thing for the industry, in number one, but then also as a DJ now, having that separate stage, right? And giving a DJ access to the general crowd.
Right,
that you might not necessarily pull for like a mass house event or like a rituals or something, but then having access to that's really important. And then what you're doing brilliantly is that you sort of have you have your own sets, but then now you have music that can, I mean, Ywaya is like on fire right now, right? So if you have
Right.
music that can really draw those people also, which is really brilliant. So I mean, what they're doing essentially, what they've been doing is really brilliant in terms of just for the Kenyan music industry. I think they're part of the overall story. Like if you look back 1,000 years from now, if we are still around,
for sure. Yeah, our music is gonna be there.
1,000 years, we're still going to be playing DJ Mura for sure.
Yeah, amen to that. Yeah, man. So the song, I feel like, I just dropped a new project like 3 days ago, this past Friday.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should promote my stuff, bro.
Go ahead, man.
Promote
This is a
it.
Yeah,
podcast.
but also at the same time, I have so many favorite Kenyan songs at the moment. So we just dropped a new EP with Ywaya. It's called Lucky Summer.
Lucky summer.
Yeah, because any time for a Kenyan summer. So
Kenyan summer.
yeah, for sure. We have an EP called Lucky Summer. There's a track in there called Tycoon. Yeah, it's
I was listening to that one in the morning.
Yeah. I picked that one. Yeah, I was just a bit selfish to plug myself.
You can't say it's not selfish.
No, it's
we
not
asked
selfish,
you to plug yourself.
my guy.
It's not selfish to plug yourself when you've been asked to. Yeah.
But also, man, I'm so happy, man. What a time to be a Kenyan artist. There's so much good music coming out right now.
For real.
Yeah, man. There's so much stuff coming from Watenda Willy.
Yeah.
So check that out as well.
Easy.
Is that foreshadowing for something? I know you're working with it, but you worked with Watenda Willy before, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I also DJ for them.
Okay.
Like whenever I'm doing my shows, like the event we just did, Rituals.
Yeah.
They came through and we played like 2-3 tracks, a few remixes I made of their songs, and also sometimes we're working on behind the scenes. So yes.
Watenda Willy is fire.
Easy. So you guys are about to listen to the smooth sounds of DJ Mura on his song Tycoon from his project Lucky Summer with Ywaya Tajiri.
Kuwanatia, sekubesha, money over everything, no pressure. Wenye wivu wembe walisha meza, wanajua na kuwanga big stepper. Lukutu, Bamba, Mukuchu, London, mifuko za Kim Jong-un, hadi wanasema na kuwanga Tycoon. Leta tumbler, jaza inatubamba sana, lazima shots after shots tuko kwa counter, na mademu wa melan zimetunasa. Girls wanna come to my place again, making more money, no time for friends. Si tulikunywa 40%, group ya sherehe wanauliza we wanaje, sikubesha, money over everything, no pressure. Wenye wivu wembe walisha meza, wanajua na kuwanga big step. Wanaje, sikubesha, money over everything, no pressure. Wenye wivu wembe walisha meza, wanajua na kuwanga big step. Lukutu, Bamba, Mukuchu, London, mifuko za Kim Jong-un, hadi wanasema na kuwanga Tycoon. Gini ningerema, suit buta baby kikicha kiwea, Nathio kuyudea, Anjeri biro, I'll take you anywhere. Ay, kakiti maga, herondi, Njeri you and me. Ay, kama kopesa baby, you and me, ateri Italy. Moko geria man, wanatia, sekubesha, money over everything, no pressure. Wenye wivu wembe walisha meza, wanajua na kuwanga big stepper. Wanatia, sekubesha, money over everything, no pressure. Wenye wivu wembe walisha meza, wanajua na kuwanga big stepper. Lukutu, Bamba, Mukuchu, London, mifuko za Kim Jong-un, hadi wanasema na kuwanga Tycoon. Lukutu, Bamba, Mukuchu, London, mifuko za Kim Jong-un, hadi wanasema na kuwanga Tycoon. Yeah. Oh, Mura, Ywaya. Tajiri, yeah. Tajiri, bo. And look at look at your money, yo.
That was DJ Mura KE and Ywaya Tajiri. Two guys who are absolutely on absolutely on fire right now. And the song is Tycoon from his latest project. Go check that out. Are you planning to do more of those kind of collaborations?
Please.
Yeah, there's actually so much more coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now that we're headed to the new year, part of the things we are doing, we have a studio called Top Class.
Top Class,
So that's basically our imprint. But now from next year, we are graduating to a record label.
Okay.
And so basically this is
shout out to you.
Top Class
Thank
Records.
you, bro. Yeah, it's called Top Class Sounds.
With a K.
Yeah, with
Top
a
Class
K.
Sounds.
Top Class Sounds.
Facts.
Because the sounds are top.
Class.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So part of the reason why we are launching our record label is because now we want to be able to release our own songs whenever we want.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to sometimes with other labels you have to wait for structures in Yeah, we also have an event series called Magharibi Express and Vibes in the East. So through our record label now, because now we are producing music, we want to plug our own stuff at our own events. So yeah, so be on the lookout for a record label, Top Class.
Please, do you have is it on socials yet? Or
yeah,
no?
it's on socials. Just look for Top Class Sounds, and there's so much more music coming through from us. Already we have. I feel like for the first quarter, for the first 2 quarters of next year, we're already set for releases. So
fire!
Yeah. And then also,
can you give us a little bit of leakage on who?
Yeah, make
who
sure
are
you
we
come to
hoping
Blankets. You're gonna play some
give us
releases.
leaker.
Okay, yeah,
Give
see,
us
there you
some
go,
leaker,
there you go.
man.
Yeah.
Some leakage.
Mwakenya.
Dione nyuma ya tent.
But
But be on the lookout.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
You said you're
music-
going to play some of the joints at Blankets, right?
Yeah.
Facts. So you can-
Some music dropping from the label. We have some music from Hiri, from Paps, from Ali, from
Fire.
Big Nyags.
Fire.
Yeah, from the whole
Fire.
group. Yeah, and also some music from Safari Owns.
Yeah.
We just dropped a new album project, and then there's another 2 on the way. So mziki ni mob.
Music ni mob, manze.
Yeah.
Hey,
But as like we said, you guys go listen to that Lucky Summer, man. That Urembo Awari. That shit is hard, man. Listen, this nigga's nah. So you guys go listen to that.
Man.
Speaking of Blankets, last week we kind of said we were gonna be giving out 2 tickets to you guys for listening to the podcast and supporting us. Wanted to give back to you guys, and so we decided, Sam and I, we're gonna give the tickets to. So some of you guys shared some of your experiences listening to the podcast and some of your good moments. So Sayanka said one of his most memorable moments was us kind of putting him on to Sophia and Zhao before she blew up. And then when she blew up,
like to pride ourselves in.
And then he was like, oh, we put it, he was putting his friends on to Sophia and Zhao before she even made Mwaki, and so he was thankful for us making him look so knowledgeable. So we're gonna give 1 ticket to Sayanka. Shout out to you, man. And then the second ticket we'll give to Muhele _ and they said, I remember the first day I discovered the podcast, Keithan was a guest, and his song of the week was Nakupenda by Rateng. And for him, I mean, that was a really memorable moment. Also a memorable moment for us to interview Keithan and Kinoti.
And
so
Kinoti. Yeah.
So shout out to you guys. So we'll just communicate in the DMs. And yeah, man, shout out to you, Mura, for coming through to the
Thank you, bro.
podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
No, it has been. And you guys know I usually like to end the podcast with the 3 C's. You all know what they are, but I'll tell you about them next week. And Sam, they know what it is at this point, Sam.
Yeah,
they know what the
I
3
mean,
C's are.
if they don't know, then no one is listening to the end of the podcast. Oh man, no, but no, thank you for coming through. Fire as always. Man. Making some really, really good music, and I think at this stage, because Uns is just progressing and it's there's a spotlight on it, I believe that if we keep going, we're going to be, how South Africa is everywhere with Uns, and of course now Europe and then and the UK out there. I think we could definitely get there. Just lock in. there's that unity that I think we also do have to show.
Yeah.
But then you're definitely, also that's to say that you're definitely part of that, and you're at the forefront as well with some of the other DJs. So I'm looking forward to just seeing the progression and seeing you win, as well as all the other guys who we're rocking with, man. So
for sure,
shout out to you for being here. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll see you guys on episode 162. We out.